Alright, I am back out in Nagato. I am doing naval battles and I need 15,000 damage to get a double star for naval battles. And I am in a tier 5, 6, 7 match here. So each team has 2 destroyers, 4 cruisers, 5 battleships, and 1 aircraft carrier on each side. Now, the other side, the other team, has an Issei. An Issei is a Japanese hybrid battleship that can throw out torpedo bombers. And they're real lightweight torpedoes, but enough of them are in the water that when they all hit, they still do quite a bit of damage. And they can really hurt somebody that is low health. And then the other team has a Ryujo, while we have a Serov. So the Ryujo is a Japanese aircraft carrier. The Serov is a Soviet aircraft carrier. They're both tier 6 aircraft carriers, so they won't be as seriously damaging to me as if I was up against one of those tier 8s like I was in a previous battle that I did a video on. But any aircraft carrier is a hazard to Japanese battleships. We just don't have good AA on really any Japanese ship. Alright, well, we are on the Two Brothers map. Two Brothers is that one with the great big islands, 2 of them side by side, great big tall peaks, and then there's a channel in between them with a cap on each side of the channel. And then on each side of the big islands there's another cap. So we're closest to Alpha Cap. And I am spotted like almost right away. That is one of the hazards of a Japanese battleship, is we are pretty much perma-spotted from everywhere on the map. But we trade that out by being able to shoot just about everywhere on the map. And with the size of the shells for this tier that Nagato has, I can generally do some pretty good damage. That one didn't do any. Ricochet. Didn't have a great angle. I just wanted to get a shot away real quick before I got behind this island. There we go. Now, the opposing Nagato has turned broadside to me. And I got a couple to land on him. A couple of full pins and 1 over pin. Alright, seems like he is shooting at some of the ships that are further over. I don't know, maybe at our Marblehead Lima. The Marblehead is a real lightweight cruiser, just like an Omaha, tier 5, and they can take a lot of damage real easy, so everybody's favorite target. Well, there we go, 3 full pins that time, so we've already got Nagato down to about 1/3 of his normal health. And getting some good help from my other ships. There, Mackinson did a good job there. Alright, if we can get one of these to land underneath his guns, we'll finish the job on him. Oh good, there it is. Alright, 2 pins, 1 full pin. Now we'll see, is that Issei driver more of a CV driver, or is he more of a battleship driver? Because if he's a battleship driver, I'm giving him a little more broadside than I like to give him. Oh, over pins. Okay, let's see what we can do here with this guy. I'm trying to get angled to him at the same time. And my turrets, I want my front turrets to get around. There we go. And he's realizing that he pulled out broadside right in front of a Nagato, and he's like, oh, crud. He's wanting to pull back, and he is going to get inside there where I can't really get a good shot at him. Not where I want it to be. It'll be wasted on his nose. Alright, well, he's behind the island where he can't shoot me. So let's use this on... Oh, my. Okay, there's a Mahan there. But this Pensacola is pretty dangerous too, so let's get him. Oh, yeah. With a Citadel. Okay. Alright. Pensacola is an American cruiser that it has real high caliber guns for the tier 6 ships. And so to a broadside battleship, he can still do enough damage that I did not want to give him anything easy. Uh-oh. Mahan torps, and they can go a full 6K, and that's about how far he was away from me. 6.4K. Darn it. If I just kept going and angled away, I would have missed those, but... Okay, well... He dodged all my shells, or my dispersion dodged him. I don't know which, but I missed. He'd be a good target right now because he's lost his engine. Told the team to concentrate fire on him, but now I got to work on the Issei because he's pulled out right in front of me. Where if I don't do something with him, I've got ships to my right, I've got him on my left. Too many targets. Now he's throwing torpedoes at me. Look at all these torps in the water. Yeah. Kept it down to only one, so could have been a whole lot worse. Oh boy. That was the New York, I think. Oh good. Okay. Well, we will take that. So the Issei's down. Yeah, New York is a tier 5 battleship, and probably got lucky because if he'd pinned me, I think I'd have gone down. Alright, Emerald, if I connect with this, you're down too. And yeah, I did. With a Citadel. Okay, hey, that's 4 down. Let's keep it going. Now, that smoke up there could be the Emerald, or it could be the Mahan. But the Emerald's down, so it's not the Emerald. It's gotta be the Mahan then. Oh, double Citadel on the New York. That's nice. Oh, lovely. I'm going to take 2 torps. Nope, just 1. Whew. That was lucky. That other one passed right underneath my bow. I think if I had taken both of them, I'd be out of the battle. Okay, so New York just wants to sit here broadside to me. Let's see what we can do. And that's a Kraken unleashed. Alright, with another Citadel. He must be a new player, because you just can't sit broadside and just keep going same direction like that. Oh my. Okay. Those torps have missed me, but Mahan gets 3 sets. Oh good. There he is. Okay, dodged another set. Boy, I am down to almost no HP here. I need to get a shot on this guy. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that makes 6. Hey, that was half the enemy team. They wanted this side really bad. Now, I'd like to stay here and take this cap, but the aircraft carrier just keeps sending planes at me. I'll be dead real soon. Got a heal going. I have one more heal left after this. No, I have two more after this. Well, I probably won't get there because here comes more torps. Oh. Okay. That's good. Okay, well, we were actually down on caps, but up on ships. We still have 9 of ours. They're down to 2 of theirs. Now, just the Omaha, it looks like. Maybe the carrier is out there? Nope, carrier's gone too. I'm not sure what happened to him, but alright. We get that Omaha, this battle's over. If I could get my guns turned, I would take him too. Get greedy like that. Looks like he's about done. Yep, that's it. Goodness sakes, that was a wild one. Okay, 115,000 damage. Got that Kraken unleashed. And got a dreadnought, because I stayed alive. So I only had 36 target hits, but 23 of them were penetrations. 5 of them hits to citadels. So Nagato guns, just like all Japanese battleships, hit hard when you can get them to hit. Shot down 2 aircraft. Considering everything that they were flying at me, I'm surprised that's all I got. But just like all other Japanese battleships, Nagato has very poor AA. 6 ships destroyed. That is the highest count that I think I've had. I've had a few 5s, but that's the first 6. Alright, so I ended up atop the leaderboard, and you kind of expect that, considering some of those ships were high health when I hit them. And 1,870 base XP. A lot of the ships that I was fighting were lower tier, so I didn't get the bonus to my base XP that you get when you hit higher tier ships. I was high tier, so that dropped my base XP earnings a little bit there. And I fired a total of 71 rounds. Half of them... No, I fired a total of 36 rounds that hit. 92 that I fired. Okay, 92 armor piercing, 4 high explosives, so 96 rounds fired, and I landed 36. Okay, now I'm reading it right. So I'm hitting about a third. And let's see, I had 1,448,000 of potential damage. That's an indication of how much stuff was being thrown at me that while it didn't do damage, it would have if it had hit. And so a lot of that were the torps and some of those shells coming in from the battleships. Other than that, I don't see anything exciting there. Of course, I put down the New York, and that was most of his health there. Issei, I got about a third of his health. Nagato, about a third. Pensacola, I think that's most of his health. And then Emerald, probably about a third of his health that it took. And then Mayhan, um, that was a bit of a yoink. He was already hurting, but had to put him down or else he was going to get me. And for credits earned, I ended up with 730,000 in credits. And for my commander, I got almost 30,000 commander XP. So that's good. All right, so Nagato sitting here in the Dunkirk port still kind of puts you in the mood for fighting warships when you see all the bombs landing and all that from the German attack in World War II on the port of Dunkirk during that evacuation. Anyway, let's take a look at my captain here. So this is just an ordinary captain that I have been training up. I don't have Yamamoto on here. I'm using Yamamoto on my Japanese destroyer. I think I have him on Haragumo. So I can't use him on Nagato right now. So, but this guy is up to 16 points, and I have the gun feeder, and that gives me the ability to switch from high explosive to armor piercing, and that helps out when I'm trying to get shots onto a battleship, maybe that's broadside, but then I see a destroyer and I want to hit that destroyer. And same thing if I was getting ready for a destroyer, but then a nice juicy broadside comes up from a cruiser, then I can switch again. Then I have grease the gears because the turret rotation on a Japanese battleship is extremely slow. And so this helps some. It's still not a lot, but it helps. I am running Vigilance, which helped me see those torps in the water before they got too close for me to dodge. Sometimes I take this skill on a battleship, but eventually I end up actually trading it out. So I probably won't be keeping this one forever, but for right now. I have basics of survivability that helps put out the fires and the floods a little bit earlier if I can't put them out myself. Retains a little bit of my health for a little bit longer. Eventually I'll add adrenaline rush to that to reduce my main battery reload time when my health pool does get low, which it's going to. I am also running Emergency Repair Expert, and that gets my damage control parties and repair parties in action a little bit quicker. So when I am on fire and then put a fire out, then if I had to wait much longer and then they light another fire on me, that fire will burn for a very long time. So this gets the ability to put the fires or floods out a little bit earlier. And then Fire Prevention Expert is a real important skill for a battleship. This one reduces the number of fires that you can have at any one time from 4 down to 3. And more importantly, it allows only one fire on the superstructure, which is the most common place to catch on fire. So if another ship is shooting at me with HE, cruisers and destroyers especially, they will tend to shoot at the superstructure, and if I get a fire lit on that, that's the only one I have to deal with for a while. Now, a lot of my battleships, I'll run Concealment Expert. I am not on Nagato, and I probably won't because the concealment of a Japanese battleship is horrible, and this doesn't help by a lot. So my detection is 16.6 kilometers right now. If I could put that on there, it would bring me down to 14.9, which, every little bit helps. But my job is to shoot, and it's hard to hide behind any islands and such. I end up being a little bit more out in the open, and because of the threat from aircraft, I find it actually better to be mobile as best as I can be. All right, now let's take a look at our module build here. All right, so I do have hull B. You always want to get up to the B hull as quickly as you can on these ships. That gives me a little bit more hit points to work with. I went from 49,000 up to 65,000 by having that. And then we automatically can get main battery firing range bumped up some. Well, I think I had to pay extra for that, but you like to have that range because at 20.5 kilometers, I'm a threat to most of the other Tier 7 and Tier 8 ships that I face anywhere on the map. And then I have the reload time down a little bit in here. I think without this, my reload time would be 30 seconds, but I could be wrong on that. And then propulsion is going to just give me a little bit more speed. 25 knots in a Tier 7 battleship isn't terrible. There are a few battleships that can go quite a bit faster, but things like the Gneisenau and the Scharnhorst and such, but probably the French battleships too, but not the American ones. I think Colorado's even slower than Nagato, for instance. Okay, then I run Main Armaments Mod 1 to help protect my main guns. Damage Control System Mod 1 that helps the captain skill that I had also combines with this to help reduce the risk of catching fire. Aiming Systems Mod 1 reduces my dispersion so that my shells are grouped a little bit tighter and hit where I'm aiming a little bit better than they would if I didn't have this. And then Propulsion Modification 1 is what allows me to do a little of that throttle juking. So I am going back and forth from full speed down to quarter speed, up to three-quarter speed, even into reverse for a little bit, and then back up to full speed again. So it makes the other ships miss sometimes. And even when they do hit, it's maybe up in the bow instead of right in my broadside where they wanted to hit me. So in addition, I get depth charges out to 8 kilometers. So every once in a while, those subs get right in there where I can plant a few depth charges on them, and that's helped me out. That armor piercing is a very high damage shell. That's what I got those citadels with, and usually that's my main armament. But there are times where I'll switch over to high explosive, like when I was shooting at that DD, and that's going to do a lot more damage to those ships. And sometimes when a battleship is turned angled into me and I can't do any real damage with my AP because that would just bounce off, then I can go to high explosive, light a few fires, and those still tend to do damage wherever they hit on a ship. I am running spotting aircraft. The other choice is fighter, and that could have helped with the aircraft that were doing damage to me, but it really doesn't do a lot of help, and the spotting aircraft gets me that extra range when I have that up in the air. Plus I can see over islands and hit things that I can't see well enough to aim well without something like that spotting aircraft. And then I get the normal repair party, but I get the extra repair party because of the captain skill that we were looking at earlier. I don't think I mentioned that that's what that does, but it's the emergency repair expert, and that gives me an additional damage control party, and I definitely needed that. All right, well, that was Nagato again, and I'm getting closer to being able to get the next one in line. In fact, I can afford Amagi right now, so I'm going to go ahead and pick her up right now. All right, so Tier 8 Amagi. And let's go ahead and outfit her right now. I should have plenty of free XP to afford to do that. I'm going to deck her out right now, and maybe the next video that you get to watch will feature Amagi next, with a little bit of luck. Alright, so I am, as you can see, putting the same things on her that I used on Nagato. It's kind of my standard battleship loadout. But let's see if we get anything additional for her, because as a tier 8, there are extra things available here. One extra slot here. And for this one, I think I'll go ahead and go with Concealment Expert. The torpedo lookout system, that just doesn't seem to be useful on battleships, and so I don't take it, and everything I've read about that, not too many people out there are using it, at least nobody that I am aware of. Alright, now let's see, what do I have for commander? So we can see Yamamoto is Suruku. He is assigned to the Haragumo, as I mentioned. I have a 19-point captain on my Fuso. 19-point captain on my Shimakaze. I'm going to keep him there. Well, I've got some low point captains out there. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy off the Fuso. It's going to cost me 125,000 in Elite Commander XP, or I could spend 500 in dubs. I think I want to save my dubs. I'm going to go ahead and use my Elite Commander XP. That's all that I have left, is about 67,000. Then I'll have to use 58,000 free XP. Alright, then I'll find a different captain for Fuso. Alright, well, we will be back at some point, hopefully, with Amagi having a good battle.